way. Let's see if I can totally get rid of the volume. Oh, great. Sorry. Try not to point at you. Let's hide that for now. I hope everyone's having a fabulous week. I'm going to try Melon app one more time. I tried so many different streaming software options over the last week. It shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't. Let me just pull this up here. Let's see if I'm live on both YouTube and Facebook. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think it happened one time. Let's see, where are we? I have no comments. There we go. See, there's someone in the chat. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Barb. Okay, so there are some people watching. I can now see. We've got Facebook is working. Is YouTube working? Let me see my channel. Hi, Angela, Teresa, Carolyn. Oh, it looks like YouTube's working. I see some logos there. So I hope you can't hear me in stereo like I can. I can't turn my phone completely down. So live streaming technology. I added a Wi-Fi booster, which is like plugged in literally right here, right underneath all my technology. Hi, Karen, Feline, Marilyn. So fingers crossed that this works. Another team meeting on a Wednesday. Rude. A couple reminders. So Spring Fling registration has closed, but Creativity Delivered, the deadline has not yet passed. It is the 20th of each month. Hello, Tammy. So you have until the 20th. This month we are using the Kangaroo and Company bundle. So it's this one. I hope it shows the right way for you because it shows the right way for me. Sorry about the glare. I had my lighting like all figured out, and then I went and made it so that I'm streaming from my iPad, which is casting a shadow onto my desk. So now I need another light. Hi, Megan. Okay, it looks like it showed the right way. So the deadline for this month is the 20th. The deadline for every month is the 20th, but these are my cards. So we've got a cute little fun fold that still fits in a regular A2 sized envelope. We've got the back. Hi, Linda. And then you can't have a kangaroo without a pocket, so it's a pocket card. I hope that's not too obvious. Reaching. Okay, so those are my two cards, and I know Tiffany shared hers on her weekly Facebook Live. And speaking of Tiffany, hi, Martine. I am not going to keep trying to be Tiffany. So if you follow her, her weekly Facebook Live has 3 amazing projects every week. And trying to do that is going to kill me. So I'm going to go back to doing my thing, figure out what that is, and do that. So let me not point at you. I want to bring on my other, whoa, going right past my camera. So let's show this on the stream. You know, it's unfortunate, but no amount of practice can simulate what's going to happen when I go live. And I can't zoom in. We've still got a little bit of that showing, don't we? Okay, I'll do better for next week. But I want to give you an option as to which, can you hear me? Please give me a comment if you can hear me, because my phone is muted. I think it should still be working. Ah, alarm. I want to give you a choice of which project I'm going to create tonight. So usually every Monday I have a new YouTube video, but this week, my to-do list, ladies, is nuts. So we've got the Spring Fling prep. I've got all my pillow gifts done, which is such a huge thing. I hunkered down and got those done. But there are 16 make and takes to make for 13 people. So, oh, that's good. Hi, Linda. So I've got to get on those. I signed up for swaps because I'm an idiot and apparently don't need sleep. So I've got to make 42 cards for that. I've got to mail my blends club, which is ready, but I need to get out of the house and get some catalogs out to some amazing customers. And of course I can't give you catalogs without a little goodie in it. So I got to make that. Oh, cute. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in last week's Facebook Live and said, let me know if you want this to be next week's video. And then Sunday rolled around and what was I doing? Prepping my order, which 2 Wednesdays in a row, FedEx did not deliver as promised. It sat in Nashville for like 28 hours. Like, come on, you're supposed to be 2 days. Hi, Susan. Okay, so that being said, this card uses some product that is that's not carrying over. It's very sad. It's a cute little interactive card with a vellum sheet in there, and then oh snap, you crock my world. So if we don't do this tonight, I can do this for my video next week, but I also have pre-order stuff that's coming and I need to share some of that. Now this, if you vote on this for tonight, it's not the actual case because this is my tutorial. We got a ton of snow, so if you hear people driving by, it's the slush on the street. I lost a pearl too. The Sweet Stamping Connection, this is my 3D project tutorial. Ooh, look how much I rushed to get this done for you so that you weren't looking at my naked nails, but look how much I got on my skin. Anyways, this is part of the Sweet Stamping Connection tutorial. So if you are on my team, you're on Tiffany's team, there's a few other US demonstrators, I'm the only Canadian one, you will have the tutorial to make the box. What you don't have is the tutorial to make the cards inside. And I used very underrated stamp set. It's called Wonderful As You. And as you can see, I use the Hydrangea DSP, but we've got a Miss You card with the floating and fluttering die. I don't think I stamped any of these inside. Sending Positive Thoughts with floating and fluttering. So you can add a couple of stamp sets and come up with some cute and simple cards. These are all very simple, low profile because I wanted them to fit into this box. So, do you want to see the cards? Although I'm not going to use Hydrangea, I'm going to use In Good Taste because I have quite a bit of that. Or do you want to see the crocodile card? And if you want to get your hands on the Sweet Stamping Connection tutorial, it is just a $35 purchase with me anytime this month. There's a new tutorial each month. And when you spend $35, not only are you getting the Sweet Stamping Connection tutorial, you will also get the Stamping Society tutorial because they are both free with a minimum purchase. I'm never going to be able to tie this the way it was. Never, ever, ever. Oh, who's going to keep track for me because I can't see comments the way I normally do. Is Melanie watching to keep a tally for me? That did not turn out well. Erin says crocodile, obviously. Hydrangea, Hydrangea. Elbow cough. Love the croc. The croc. Ooh, I think we might be tied. Flower. Need to make a card with the croc. Okay. Come on, crocodile people. Megan, you're so cute. Love the hydrangea, Croc. Love that. Oh, I think we're tied. Okay, next comment takes it. Come on, type faster. Okay. Oh, they were like hydrangea and Croc. Okay, you know what? We're going to do the crocodile because if you get this, you're going to see a picture of all of the cards in there. So I was giddy with this. It is a lot of green, and I used Old Olive and Mossy Meadow, and I actually colored it with Mossy Meadow blends just to give it a little bit more depth. And the dragonflies were such an afterthought. Oh, that's so sweet, Lori. You're going to have to make, just do both. So, Megan, that would mean 5 cards. Okay, let me grab the stamp sets that we need. And we already know that neither one of these are carrying forward. So if you would like to recreate this, you will have to get your hands on the product sooner rather than later. So let's get going. I was in quite a panic. I had no idea what I was going to do for you tonight. So not only was I worried about technology, but I'm like, what am I going to create? And then I thought, this will work. Okay, so we need a Whisper or Basic White panel. Can I just take a second to mourn Whisper White? I really miss it. Basic White is not the same. It stamps well, like you can stamp on it well, but I miss my Basic White. Okay, so we're going to grab a green card base. Let's do Pear Pizzazz this time. Maybe it'll stand out a little bit more. And we also need a sheet of vellum. And we need that to be full, we need it to be a full mat. And then some. Nope, what do we need? This hearing myself in stereo is going to drive me batty. Okay, so this is, let's go with 5 by, say 4 1/8. I've got a little bit that's just tucked in behind here, so just enough that it's going to fit in the back. And let's see if I can adhere this the way I did the last time. We shall see. You also need some Basic White for stamping this crocodile. Oh, and I had a team meeting last night. We usually do them on Mondays, but I thought, you know what? Monday nights, we don't get the weekly updates in time. So it's always like there's information that I can share in our Facebook group, or I can wait a week, which doesn't, you know. Shame we are not doing a pop-up card vase card. Megan, send me more information with that, because why is my alarm going off? Oh, great. Sorry, cover your eyes for just a second. Let's get this going the right way. Move it over just a little bit so we don't have that little black piece in there. Okay, tell me more about that and I will see what we can do. Yes, Cindy, you need to learn that one. It's it would make a great gift, and I don't know how long this thing's going to be sitting around because, I mean, I don't want to mail it, but okay. So my team meeting last night, I was talking about how I had attended On Tour virtually on the weekend, and they were talking about the top 3 selling products in Canada and how I was surprised. Most of us were surprised at what they were. So does anyone have any guesses? I remembered what the third one was, which is why I'm bringing it up. I said to my team yesterday, I'm like, oh, I'm going to forget. I know I'm going to forget. I am going to use my Stamparatus for this guy because he is a little too big to use on a block. Not impossible, But I also want to make sure that I get a really good impression. So I'm going to stamp him. I'm probably going to need 2 pieces of basic white to get this guy, because remember, I need him twice. Oh, we're stamping him on one. Never mind. I made this weeks ago. Sounds good, Megan. Hi, Cheryl. Doing a pop-up vase card. I'm curious to see what that is. I think I saw something about that pop up somewhere. Pardon the pun. Okay, so I'm going to be coloring him with Stampin' Blends. So let's use some Memento. He's quite close to the edge, but we'll make it work. So I was asked a couple months ago if I could do a class with the Well Suited bundle, which is the masculine set, the suit and tie, and thank you, Cheryl. And I'm thinking about doing that. So let me know in the comments below, if you're in Canada, if you are interested. Ooh, just a little heavy on the tail. Let's stamp him again. And I'm also going to be starting to plan bingo, new catalog bingo. And I shared with my team last night, if you are a demonstrator, you probably already know this, but the next mini catalog was supposed to be starting in July, and it's being pushed back a month. So it's going to be the August to December mini catalog again, but the name won't be changing. It will still be the June or the July to December catalog. See, you can see why I used my Stamparatus. And it jumped. Batten zero. So unfortunately, due to COVID, I think, there have been a number of products that are delayed, and Stampin' Up! Has decided that it would push demonstrator pre-order to, wouldn't push it. There wouldn't be enough product for demonstrators to get what they want in the pre-order, so they are going to push it back by a month. This is probably coming out like gobbledygook because I can't focus. But anyways, things were supposed to be starting earlier this year, and they won't be. So it will still be happening in August. Celebration, instead of happening in July, now will be in August, because they don't want to risk demonstrators and customers alike not having access to the product. So kudos to Stampin' Up! For recognizing that and making a change as early as possible. So we will have an extra month to get what we want from the upcoming annual catalog. And oh my goodness, I was paging through it again today looking for some ideas, and can't wait. Can't wait. So I was hoping to show you the rest of my pre-order today, but again, FedEx did not deliver. So I'm working in the office tomorrow and Friday. So now, of course, it's going to get delivered tomorrow and sit on my doorstep until I get home. Boo. Okay, so we'll take that guy off. I have noticed that when I'm recording, like I'm doing my Facebook Live, I end up just talking, trying to fill the gap. Yes, Roz, me too. Oh, nice guesses, Linda. Squirrel. I cannot remember where I was going. Okay, Linda, I'm going to put your comment on here. Does anyone else have... Megan, I may not answer that. No, part of it is that I knew the Spring Fling order was going to be going in, so I might as well add items to my order. And it never fails. Sorry, my Stampin' Blends are right where my phone stand is. It never fails. I see samples and I'm like, yep, gotta have it. And I mean, the longer the longer the pre-order, which is always a month, I get things and then I want more things. I want all the things, which is probably why I'm perpetually broke. I'm going to leave my hair down. Okay, so there's nothing overly fancy with the coloring on here. I am going to grab my Mossy Meadow Dark because that's the color I'm going to do his little scales. And we'll color both at the same time. I'll tell you, there is a bit of fussy cutting with this. So the pre-order, the order that I'm waiting for is essentially the Spring Fling supplies with a couple of extra items thrown in for me. Like all of the in color ribbon. What else? I have the ink pads, I have the cardstock, I have the blends. I have a lot of what I want already, but there's another bundle. I actually showed some restraint and didn't get everything in there. Okay, we'll do both at the same time. And if you want to, let me know what you think of the background. It's not perfect. I have been thinking that I needed something else on my desktop, and I had a very sweet friend tell me, your desktop's a little too white. And I agree. So I found something that I thought might work. It wasn't going to be black. It was going to be a light gray, which is what this is. But it's also silicone, so everything sticks to it. So I find that when I'm crafting in here, every time I go to wipe some cardstock away or something, it gets stuck on there. I'm like, would you get off? So not loving it. I may go back to the black matte that I had before. I do have to order another one because I got acetone all over it and it obliterated the lines. Okay, so that is Mossy Meadow Dark. We're going to, it can be tricky coloring when you're standing. Oh, that's exciting, Barb. Happy Wednesday, Pam. Just catching up here. It is gorgeous. Let me show you. The light, my ribbon is right above my light, and when I go to look at it when it's on, it's like, ah. So the new in color ribbon is sheer, and it is beautiful. I am rather disappointed that we don't have any of the, what year would it be? The 2020-2022 in colors with like Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. They're not carrying forward the ribbons that we had, which is unfortunate because I still have quite a bit. It was a nice plain woven ribbon. Whoops. But there isn't going to be ribbon for these colors, which seems a little unusual. And then the other unusual thing, I had a meeting with the larger team, like my upline, and someone mentioned the fact, I guess I don't need to color those. Someone mentioned the fact that there are embellishments that are carrying forward that are retired colors. So we noticed 2 Purple Posy. I mentioned that the In Good Taste paper has Rococo Rose in it, which is unusual because as far as I knew, no paper ever carried forward, no DSP. So it is unusual that it would carry forward with retired color. Okay, I'm just going over where there would be some shadow. You don't have to overthink it like I do. Seriously, I did this so many weeks ago. So I would love to know what you think of the background. I would love to know what you think of the connection tonight. Like, is this going better than it has the last few weeks? And that could be due to the Wi-Fi booster that I got. Or it could be due to the fact that no one's home and the only devices that are connected are the ones that I'm using. And I'm only on 2 devices. I'm not using my computer this time because I don't really need to. I did have it on to make sure that the connection was working. I'm noticing that all my blends are dying around the same time, which is awful come a pre-order time because you're like, no, I want to get new stuff. I don't want to replenish anything. Old dark olive. Old dark olive. Dark old olive. I don't have any light. This is the problem with always starting to color with light. You know, when we use our blends, we start with light and then we come in with dark and then we blend it again with light. This is what happens. You go through the light so much faster and then you have only darks. So now I will have 3 dark old olives and only 1 light. So I think this guy is going to have to be colored in Mossy Meadow because this is on fumes. And sometimes you may get a little bit more mileage on them if you close them for a few minutes and kind of let them sit. I think I am not going to have that kind of luck. Okay, so, oops, I almost missed this leg altogether. Okay, I will do dark old, Mossy Meadow for the other crock. They did do a clearance rack refresh. Oh, that's good to hear, Marilyn Ross. Thank you. The clearance rack was updated. I shared it on my page yesterday, but I'm not sure that anyone actually saw it. If there's, and I'm saying a lot, and that drives me crazy, I'm sorry. If there are items that you were wanting from the August to December mini catalog, that is basically what the clearance rack was refreshed with. I was hoping it was going to be kind of more staples, but it's a lot of Christmas and autumn, which is great if you're in Australia right now, but well, I mean, Christmas is Christmas, right? But I guess Australia's winter, isn't it, Megan? Okay, so I'm just going to come in and add that shadow. So Simply Succulents, I always want to say soft succulents, which isn't going to help now that we have soft or simply, no, see, now I'm all confused. Soft succulent as an in color. It's going to make it very confusing. But that was our blends club for the month of April. May is our last one because we figured we would finish it just in time for the new catalog to start. So next month is the final month of Blends Club, and we are using the Dragonfly Garden bundle, I want to say. And if you joined Tiffany or I for the full 6 months, you will have product credit to redeem at the end of next month, which is always a great thing when a new catalog is launching, isn't it? And I will be having another BOGO sale. I'm actually not doing it myself. I'm joining a group because the woman that does it does all the work and it's just so easy. And she will be doing one in, what month are we? She'll be doing one in May and then another one in July because the mini catalog goes until January to June. Yeah, June 30th is the last day, I believe, of the mini catalog. It's a good thing these are blends because coloring with this bullet tip is, it wouldn't look very pretty. Boy, I'm going to need like a full set of blends. Speaking of blends, those are my gift with purchase this month. If you make a purchase of $60 before taxes and shipping, you will get a blends combo pack in your choice of color. Okay, so now the painful part of cutting this out. I truly wish that I could bring my Scan and Cut over here. Now, before I start cutting, what do you think? I don't want... They're right. Oh, Doppler. Oh, people. I'm kind of thinking the dark one should go on the front, but then we're also going to have Mossy Meadow there. What do we think? Light or dark on the outside? I think I kind of want the Old Olive one on the front. Decisions. So I mentioned in my team meeting last night that the Stampin' Write markers can be refilled. I was shocked to find out that people didn't know that, but the same refills that you use for your ink pads can be used for your Stampin' Write markers, not Stampin' Blends. Your alcohol markers are fully disposable, but with your Stampin' Write markers, you can refill these with your ink refills. And I'm not going to do this now, but you would take this nib out and you can use a piece of paper, you can use some tweezers, and then you just add a couple of drops into the empty barrel. Light on front. You know, I would love to be able to use it, but I don't know that I would have room up here. So this one's going to go on the inside. Let's put him inside before I forget. I do have to trim him down still. And I'm actually not going to cut his mouth out because if you can see, he doesn't have a mouth. He's all hidden in here and his mouth is closed. He's being a good little croc. So we're going to cut that right off. He's not getting to keep his little eyebrows either. I guess they're not eyebrows. They're expression marks. Okay, I find that having less cardstock to work with is easier. So you can always cut away the excess. Turn the paper. The scissors keep moving. The paper is what turns. And I have been doing so much stamping and coloring of dragonflies. And if you've watched me before, you know that usually when I do this kind of fussy cutting, or if there's a stamped or die cut image that has this white border on it, most times I'm going to color it so that it blends in well. And you can see that I've done that here because I don't want this white part to jump off the page. We want it to look like he's in a swamp, which is kind of why everything is all green. And I just want to mention before I forget, if you are in the US and you're interested in getting that Sweet Stampin' Connection, if you place an order with Tiffany or any one of the demonstrators that are part of the Sweet Stampin' Connection, you can do so. Obviously, Tiffany is my go-to. She's the one that invited me to it. She's like, I know you have a lot on your plate, but I want to add one more thing. And how could you ever say no to her? And of course I want one more thing. You don't have to go through all the trouble of getting so close to these little spikes, but again, I want it to look like he's in a swamp. And the extra minute it's going to take me to do this, to me, is worth it. I've also been doing so much coloring that I'm sitting there and I'm like, whoo, this stuff is strong. You forget that it's alcohol. I think the birds around here are like, WTF. It is supposed to be spring. The trees do not have leaves yet, but the birds have come out like in full force, and we've got, I don't know how many inches of snow that just fell yesterday and the day before. Probably like, hello? I mention that because I hear birds chirping outside. It seems like it's morning, not 8:06 in the evening. Okay, so here's our half crock. And now I'm just going to take that light old olive on the fumes that are left and color in the white. And for those of you that ordered the Simply Succulents Blends Club, I have a little something extra in there for you this month. It's not something I do every month, but it was a good month. You helped me break a record. I haven't been selling as many as I would like to, so it's just a little thank you. So going back to those top 3 items, I know I keep getting out of the frame, don't I? You know what? I don't think he minds. He's got his stuff going on, and he knows this keeps me happy. Read. Shut up. Okay, so I'm just going to guesstimate on that side. We want to stamp in the You Crock My World. He hasn't said anything about the fact that I'm not wearing my ring, but that is because my fat fingers won't allow it. So on this card, you can see that there's a matted area around it that was probably entirely by accident. I want to do my scoring here, and we'll cut a little bit off just to mat it. Okay, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. That was pretty darn close. So let's take this down to, let's start with 5. And then I'm not going to cut the excess off here. I am going to score it at about 1/2. Now with vellum, you can't score it too hard or you will go right through. You like that, Linda? Oh, that's not quite hard enough. I do that quite a bit. Okay, so vellum can be a little persnickety because if you press too hard, you can go right through it. And if you don't press hard enough, you'll end up with some crease that you don't want. Okay, so that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit short. Let's take just a tiny bit off the bottom. I'm telling you, the first time I make something is always the easiest because I'm not following instructions. I'm just creating. I don't follow instructions well. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, do you want to see the technique I use to do the letters? Oh, thank you, Christine. Oh, my face is itchy. Do you want to see that? Well, I am pondering that. Let's do our die cutting because we have, oh, I just love these dies. We are going to cut one of these. So this covers a full card base. If you can see, it covers the entire distance. So we're going to do one of those in Mossy Meadow. And we could put adhesive sheet on it, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll just glue it down. And then I also want to die cut this because that is that popped up leaf. So both will fit on this same page. And this is a die that, look how much detail is in it. I love when they die cut and emboss. Yes to letters. Okay. So for those that don't want to see the letters, I'll try to remember to give you your cue when we're done. Okay, so while I'm doing this, you probably can't see me, the top 3 selling items from the mini catalog in Canada, because they only told us Canada, why would we want to know anywhere else? In no particular order, because I can't remember which order they were, but I would have guessed the Strawberry Builder Punch because it's been on back order for months now. It wasn't. I'm just going to bring my grid paper here so I can collect my garbage. One of them was, I'll start with the bundle because that's what they started with. So the bundle that was the most popular shocked me. It's many messages. So I actually ordered this in my first pre-order, and then one of my team members wanted it for their BOGO, and I thought, you know what, let's do that. So I finally just ordered it again because, spoiler, there is something that's going to coordinate in the new catalog. So this is all one stamp, all one die. And you can create so many labels at one time. I love this one. It looks like a little pill. So that was the top selling bundle, which shocked me. One of the top selling, well, the next two were both embellishments. So one of them was the blending brushes, which totally makes sense because they too have been unorderable since about February. And the other was the pastel pearls. Alrighty. I mean, they're pretty, but more popular than, I don't know. Like the opal rounds, I would think that those would be more popular, but nope. Pastel pearls. So those were the top three. And the Canadian Demonstrator Development Manager, there are a bunch of them in the US because they manage different areas, regions. But in Canada, we have one, and his name is Dale. And he said he remembered when he started, I don't know how many demonstrators there were at this point, but he was hoping that Canada would get to 500 demonstrators or something low like that. And I think, don't quote me, I think it's about 8,000 that are in Canada now. So that is pretty awesome. And the on tour that I joined was the one in Edmonton. So there are different events around the country, well, around the world. So it's very interesting. How many of you have seen this die? That's awesome, Linda. It's funny because I was, we had like a group chat going with the people that I was watching with, and most of them didn't have them, and I'm thinking, what? I mean, maybe I just have too much stuff. Entirely possible. How many pre-orders did I get? But I was shocked. Okay, so for this leaf, you can see that it gives us a window, so we're just going to cut that out. Sorry, I know I keep going outside the screen, but I don't like a mess. And this little ladybug vacuum, I mean, my son even grabs it to pick up crumbs in the kitchen. This thing is amazing. Runs on batteries, isn't very loud. I can vacuum up all my little scraps, even from the silicone mat. So cute. Exactly, Linda. You don't have them either, Marilyn. Wow. Okay, so this is our foreground. I want to stamp a couple of the little waves, and that's from this set. We could put some fish, some frogs, lily pads, whatever, but I am just going to stick with the waves. Just a couple of them. We'll do tone on tone with Pear Pizzazz. Cute as a bug, isn't it? This will be the third time I've used Pear Pizzazz today. I was creating something and got little pieces of cardstock on my ink pad. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple. So I mentioned that I've used it 3 times. Pear Pizzazz is not a green that I reach for very often, but it just happened to work. And I was using Pear Pizzazz cardstock on another project because I'm low on, I am low on Pear Pizzazz, so I ended up using a different green. I want to remember to show you, I've got a couple of items from the pre-order that I want to show you. And I had started, do you remember I started card base last week and I didn't end up finishing it only because the inking didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So when I was watching On Tour on Saturday, I thought I would get some swaps done, but I changed my mind on the bundle that I wanted to use, so I couldn't do that. So I did put together a card using the idea that I shared with you last week, using the Whisper White ink, letting it dry, and then inking over it, the magic ink technique, as Jennifer McGuire called it, or I guess her daughter Lila called it. So this thing fits exactly on an A2 size card base. I don't know, Megan, if you have this bundle in Australia, would it be a different size? That just occurred to me. I don't think it would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, would it? No way. That's awesome, Christine. I have used this one a couple of times. I just want to show you because I'm so proud of the way, actually 2 projects using this. Let me pull these out. So these are the cards that need to be mailed. In another couple weeks, I will go through these and show you, let you basically bid on the ones you want. So this was for a blog hop a few weeks ago, and this is kind of where this vellum insert came from. So if you can see through there, I know it's pretty tricky, but I colored the little ladybug with a blend. We've got the border frame, we've got that leaf, and then a few stamped flowers. I did some spritzing on there. And then when you open it, here's that vellum piece, and it says, "Hope you feel better real soon," really soon. It's got this leafy background again. Well, not again, for the first time. And then if you lift this vellum piece up, you've got that, and then the sloths from Back on Your Feet. So I don't know anyone that needs to get back on their feet. Actually, I do have a coworker I want to give this to, but I do have a second one. Hi, Crafty Phoebe from Miami. Okay, so that is one card that I used with this. So you don't have to use this whole piece. You can just use the frames. And then for that same blog hop, I used this. This is one of the Love You Forever treat boxes. Card grabbing by with slush. So this is 2 of those die cuts wrapped around. You can see the 2 meet there. So I did one way, one the other way. And then I just did Go Wild. I've got a couple of the leaves. And then if you pull this, whoops, I don't want it to come all the way out. And then you pull this up, it's got the Woodland Wonder. Isn't it cute? I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it definitely won't mail well. Anyways, that is using that same bundle. And I got it because I figured it was going to be a sleeper set. I figured people weren't going to do much with it. Okay, now before we adhere our basic white piece, we need to adhere that, but I want to do my letters first. Oh, this guy needs to go on before I forget. Probably should have put him on already, but you know me. Now, if you get it where you've glued it down too early, you can always come in with your take your pick tool. I have this end glued in, so I can't get to my spatula end, but if you do want, you can kind of pry it up that way. I find that if I need to pry something up, I use dental floss. So I will manipulate this so that that leaf covers the fact that he doesn't have his mouth. Kind of like that. Well, it's going to have to be a little bit higher this time. We'll tuck that in. Yeah, it's going to have to be a little bit higher, but we're going to pop this one up on Dimensionals Minis. I get talking and carried away and then forget that I've missed a step. Hi, Jill. So next week, I should have a better lighting setup. Oh, this echo is driving me crazy. I have a bit of a glare here just because I've got a secondary light. Let's see, can we tuck this guy in so we don't see an edge? Ah, that'll work. I'm just going to cut off the very end of that. So the leaf will go a little bit different this time. Deacon's coming in to see what's going on. If you heard those nails clicking on the floor. Okay, so we've got the front done. I am going to forego the ribbon this time because, of course, he is a little bit higher up and it will cover his tail. But with some vellum, I don't have enough from the scrap that I had, but with some scrap vellum, we're going to take the dragonfly punch and just punch 3 of the little ones. Kind of clipped his wings. And I mentioned this before, but if you want to punch the little dragonfly, but you want to have some detail on it, you can actually stamp the large dragonflies and then just punch it with this. And you won't have any white space around it, but it does work. No need to apologize, Jenny. It seems so late for them to be open, but I always forget that they're mountain time. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. Oh, I see my ticker is going by. It is actually too late to register for the spring fling. So I hope that's only going by for me. The deadline was Saturday. So I'm doing all of this part so that if you don't want to see this lettering technique, you can pop off. I know there are so many demonstrators that go live on Wednesdays. That almost looks like he has a funny little body. Kind of stripy. One coming down here. I did not color the cardstock this time, but that's also because we went with a lighter cardstock than I did the first time. I know this looks funny, but we're covering up boo-boos. You know what, Jenny? I had the same issue. Sorry, I'm just reading one other comment, which of course I can't see now. I had the same issue, Jenny. I didn't get my link either. And luckily, my upline shared hers. And they let me in because, I mean, I would be on the registration list. But I did not receive the email about On Tour either. And it wasn't until Friday night where I'm like, oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. So I was in a bit of a panic. And I posted that on a team post, and my upline sent me the link, which was awesome. I mean, we don't pay a lot for On Tour, but it would suck to be all prepared to go and not be able to enter. So I'm sorry that happened to you. I feel your pain. Now, for the letters, if you don't want to see the letters, you can move along to one of the others. Jody, Teresa, and Lisa. Not sure who they all are, but I know when I go live, Ange McKay is usually live, and she's Canadian, and she's awesome. Stampin' Bay are live, and yeah, it's a challenge. But I mean, I've been the same time the whole time. Oh, snap. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, we still need to stamp our You Crock My World. Let me do that before I forget. There is a very cute design in the catalog using this set. It's one of those Love You Forever treat boxes. What's ME? You crock my world. Love a good pun. Okay, so now I need the playful alphabet dies, which are carrying forward. Yay! I'm feeling a little frustrated though because I keep my dies in the case when there's a coordinating stamp set, and it will no longer have a coordinating stamp set, so now it has to go on one of my magnetic stands. And I mean, I have room for them because we have a couple that are leaving us. So sad. I don't know what I'm missing there, but we need the O, the H, and I'm going to see, there's a couple that I can do just from scraps. And I do want to adhere this vellum so that it doesn't buckle. I'm not sure if you can tell in my original card, but the vellum is totally buckled, and that's because the adhesive, I used liquid glue on the back of the basic white, and it really buckled. And I mean, once vellum gets any kind of dent in it, it won't come out. She sometimes goes by M.E. Oh! Upline. So your great grandma. That's how I refer to my upline is my mom, and then her upline is my grandma, and then her upline is my great grandma. It's just so much easier than my upline's upline. Oh, snap. I was hoping not to dig into this scrap, but we gotta. And I should have actually used adhesive sheet on this, but I did not. I mean, it's not too late for this, but I also, considering I'm only doing one project, we've been here for like an hour. I'm sorry for the shaking. Thank you, Christine. This was supposed to be a YouTube video a few weeks ago, and then, I mean, Easter projects came around, so it got pushed, and then I can't even remember what was next, but it got pushed some more. So I figured tonight was the night, and you guys did too because you voted on it. Okay. Just gonna dump this. So what we need for this is a compass. I thought it was a protractor, but it's actually a compass. Now, you could just freehand it. I don't know about you, but there are probably days where I could and days where I couldn't do the freehanding. So this was shared by a concept artist at Stampin' Up. And I've mentioned her before on my Facebook Lives because I just love her style. I think she's amazing. Her name is Melody Hyde, and her business name is Hammond and Penny, after her two Dachshunds. And she had created something with the letters like this and shared a tutorial. Okay, so I want them to be offset. I want them to have a little bit of whimsy. I really should have used adhesive sheet. So I did a card using this technique with the brushed blooms. I think I still have it. I made a couple of them because I just didn't want to give it away. Where are you hiding? It's in here somewhere, I know it is. Because I just sorted through this stuff the other day. Where are you? There it is. How stinking cute is that? I so wish that this bundle was carrying forward. I love this this die. This is the card that is my tutorial with the Sweet Stampin' Connection this month. So that and this hydrangea box that I showed you earlier. So you can get both of those for free with a purchase or as a team member. And with this being pre-order time, it is a great time to join if you were thinking about it, even if you haven't. You can add pre-order items to your starter kit. Oh, amazing. is eerily quiet. Watch, now that I said that, the dogs are going to see someone walk by and lose it. Yeah, Jenny, I thought about it a little bit too late. Oh, snap. I did not do an exclamation mark. It would be cute, but this is taking long enough. Okay, so now is where the compass comes into play. So we're going to, so I've talked a couple times tonight about the little border around, if you're fussy cutting or you're die cutting, you get that little bit of white. So that is essentially what we're trying to do on this one. So you want to set your compass to the distance that you want around your letters. And this is just one that I ordered from Amazon, and you can push it or you can adjust it with these little knobs, but all you're going to do is trace around here. And I like it where the pencil is a little bit lower than the point. Having the point touching the paper constantly, it's like the popsicle stick thing all over again. So we're basically going to just trace lightly. So lightly, in fact, that you can't see it. Come on. I'm going to drop my lead just a little bit. Of course, I have glue on my fingers. Sticky fingers! I'm wondering if I have anything where I can move this closer to you. Not really. Okay. So, just take it, and even if you don't have it going around every part of the letter, as long as you have it going around some of it, connect the dots. Why aren't you writing? Let's take it this way. There we go. Get it a little bit closer to you. I will tell you, this is incredibly awkward with my phone where it is. And I mean, I've done this technique like twice. Okay, so when you get it where your compass is like right beside your letters, you are, on a roll. Come on, there's one part of this pencil that doesn't want to write. There we go. The fact that I'm shaking isn't helping. And the reason you want to go lightly is that you're going to have to erase it. So this is so close that we're not actually going to cut in there. I don't know why it doesn't want to write there. It's like there's something on the pencil. Making me look bad. There we go. Jinxed it. Okay, so like I said, if you don't get it going everywhere that you need it, you'll get at least a general idea. And maybe your compass will be better than mine, because mine's being a little not nice word. And you may be comfortable enough where you don't need a compass to do this. You can just do it. in which case you rock. Okay, so clearly this is not a technique for a Facebook Live. I'd like to say that once you get it going on a roll, it's not so bad, but I really think that this is the compass, or this lead. Okay, that was painful. But do you see what I mean? All you have to do is line this up and draw. I wouldn't consider that playing. That wasn't so much fun. I have not, but I'm over halfway to it right now. I was getting close last year, and then I thought, you know what, I'm never going to get it in time, so I used my flex points on product. But my team is having an awesome year. My customers are amazing. So I am over the halfway point. Believe me, you'll know when I earn it. And the one that I am trying to earn, I mean, we don't get a choice. The one that I am working towards is the Western Caribbean cruise. Luckily, the cutting is a lot easier than the drawing was. And you can choose to have, oh, I got a sneeze coming. Pardon me. You can choose to have rounded corners, or you can choose to have them square. I prefer the rounded look. Now this one is only going to go down, probably didn't even need to go that far. There's only going to be a minor gap in there. I probably should have left that part. It's funny, I was watching YouTube, and anytime I see a Facebook Live that's like over half an hour, I'm like, no, I'm not watching it. Especially not for one card. And look how long this is. Thank you. Now, in my defense, I did say that if you wanted to see the letters, you were going to be in for a little bit more time. If you're a demonstrator and you want to see Melody's version of this, just go to the demonstrator planning place and look up Melody Hyde, and you will find what you need. And I would strongly suggest following her on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find her. She has a tendency to use both current and retired product, but I don't think she's done anything that I haven't been totally in love with. Her talent is just amazing. Okay, so make sure you erase all of that pencil. Oh, snap. Not perfect, but my H is a little wonky. Now I want to make sure that I put it on the vellum so that I cover this You Crock My World, which is why I stamped it first. And I am going to put a run of Stampin' Seal Plus on the back of the vellum. So I was hoping a little more of my tax return could go to more Stampin' Up! Product. But no, I need 2 new back tires because one of them is losing air and they're both very low on tread. I mean, they're 7 years old. And I need to replace my windshield that cracked, and yeah, no fun. Adulting sucks. Okay, so we want to put that kind of where you can see, like his mouth is open and we're covering the You Crock My World. So to keep this from buckling, I am just going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal, not plus because I don't want those little lines. But I mean, it's not going to be perfect anyways. But this ought to keep it from buckling. If you turn it over, you will see the adhesive. I could use glue dots as well. Oh, look, you can barely see it. So now all we have to do is adhere that. And like I said, I'm not putting ribbon on this one because I went a little too close to the top with the crocodile. And in case you're wondering, that is the Old Olive ribbon from the Ornate Garden suite of products. What is the favor, Jenny? You would love to see some pictures with both Kelly and Tiffany. With me or just them? Okay, I do think something gets lost by not having the ribbon, but there could just be a bow somewhere. But I just love these little dragonflies, and I have to say it didn't have it initially, but I saw someone use, I don't know if they were vellum or just cardstock, but it was perfect. Just popping them up a little bit. Okay, so there is our version from tonight. Let me know which one you prefer. There's a couple of differences. It's like spot the difference. We've got the Old Olive ribbon on there. We've got the crocodile's a little bit lower, which I like better. The leaf, because I put him too high after the border was on, that leaf is weird. He's a little too high, but let me know which one you prefer. The insides are pretty much the same, although we don't have that buckling because I just used the Stampin' Seal, which really is like invisible. I do prefer the Old Olive crocodile, so I better go add some Old Olive Stampin' Blends to my next order. And I did say that I wanted to show you something. So while I was doing on tour, like I said, I was putting some cards together. This one I think I showed last week. So Jenny, do you want pictures of me with them, or you want pictures of like Kelly by herself and Tiffany by herself? Friendship Refreshes the Soul. I'm pretty sure I showed this one last week. This is with the Beauty of Friendship bundle. I have to get to know a whole new catalog. So there's that one. Remember I showed you the Hydrangea Mercury Acetate last week with this frame? Well, I used the hand-penned stamp set and colored these in. These are the pastel pearls. And then this ribbon, which I think is current. I really have to go through my ribbon and make sure that I've got only current product. Thank you, Shelly. And then there's this one. Remember, I was mentioning the one that I did last week with that Wild Roses background stamp and the white, the Whisper White Magic ink, but I used the Brushed Blooms stamped too. So this is to show the in colors. So this is Pale Papaya, Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, Evening Evergreen, and Soft Succulent. So it's a great way to showcase the in colors. And I used the Petal Pink ribbon because it's actually pretty close. Oh, thanks. Aw. Okay, so that was basically the finished product of the one that I started last week. Okay, and then for one of my 21 swap cards, I've already prepared the card bases like this because I had an idea of what I wanted to do and then it didn't pan out. So I'm like, okay, well, now that I've done this, what am I going to do? So this is one of the new Host stamp sets, and this is a really fun fold. So that is Soft Succulent, that is Evening Evergreen and Balmy Blue. I just stamped it in Soft Suede. And then we've got the little stopper here. And I mean, these are both from that same stamp set. Better Place. So this is on pre-order, but it is a Host product. Thank you, Shelly. You like the one with both eyes showing on the front. Yeah, I guess you can't really see that one, can you? Okay, and then there's this one, and this is what I thought I was going to do, and then I changed my mind because it's a lot of DSP for a swap. I just changed my cutter blade. So I love this fold. Absolutely love it. The only problem I found with this bundle is there isn't enough sentiments where I could have something on the outside from that bundle and be able to use the thanks on the inside. But I showed this because the long story, there was a stamp set that we were all sent for on tour and we were supposed to do swaps with it. Well, it seemed like 8 out of 10 people had an issue with the stamp set because it wouldn't stamp properly for like 8 out of 10 people. And to be honest, when I got it, I'm like, not my style. I'm so sorry if you love it. We don't all have to love the same thing. I think that's the beauty of all of this. But it's so not my thing. And they show like it's like there's so much detail in there that they don't all stamp well. So I didn't do my swap using that. I showed this one, but after I showed it, I thought, I'm going to add the die that goes on top. And then I added the in color jewels. And I have to say, they do not showcase well on the pre-order flyer that we have or in the catalog. But look at the prism. Isn't that cool? They're like the gilded gems, but in the in colors. So don't overlook those. They are gorgeous. Which one, Jenny? Are you talking about this one or this? I love that I can do this. Was that tailor-made tags? Which one, Lisa? I'm going to say no because I didn't use them. But, oh, I know which one you're talking about. Where did it go? This one? Yes. So now we're just chatting. How do I hide that? So these are the 2 tags. This is tailored tags, I'm guessing. And I cut them out of basic white thick, and then I did the little reinforcements. I just love this one. I am still going to incorporate a tag into my swap. I can't believe how much polish I got on my thumb. But I also showed these, and if you missed it last week, I can show them again quickly. These are, I want to say they're the basic borders, but they don't showcase well in the catalog or when you're just looking at the dies. But these are the clouds. All of them are double stitched except this scalloped one. Oh, low battery. Okay, so I did show these last week. These are the, I want to say they're basic borders. So I'm just going to show them quickly before my phone dies. This one I have to say is a lot better in person or like on cardstock than it was to just see it. But if you can see, it's stitched on this side and it's dots on that side. But you could have a great landscape like that. And then the last one is this chevron. Oh, and it's the same thing. They're dots on one side and stitched on the other. I did not notice that until just now. They're all like that. Nope, not the zigzag. I lied. Anyways, I am going to go because I don't want my phone to die and just end abruptly. And this has already been almost an hour and a half. That's exciting, Jenny. Your favorite is the purple, Tammy. Awesome. Okay, so thank you for joining me tonight. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I will be deeply immersed in swaps and spring fling prep. So if I'm not around as much, please know that that's why. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.